So the news in the legislature continues to talk about what's happening in the state of Florida with regard to foreclosures in terms of a foreclosure crisis. Well, I prefer to be more accurate about it and to talk about what it really is. It's a foreclosure crime scene. And here we are, after many years of dealing with foreclosures, still in the middle of this crime scene. And unfortunately, our government has decided at every level, federal, state, local, in some cases our courtrooms, have decided to ignore the fact that what we have here really is a crime scene. The robo-signing, the forgery, the fraud, government leaders have decided that we should just move past all of that and that we should let all of the criminals and the wrongdoers go. Well, I'm here to tell you this morning that even after all of these years, we are still finding areas where the banks and institutions have engaged in, if not direct crimes, then at least misdoings and wrongdoing in the context of foreclosure proceedings. Now, I've recently discovered an area where the banks and institutions in staggering numbers have found yet another way to fail to fulfill their responsibilities, to engage in perhaps fraud, and definitely engage in wrongdoing. The file folders that you see behind you right there, as I started to go through these files after discovering this area, have found a staggering percentage of these cases are infected with this way in which the banks have taken otherwise enforceable notes and mortgages and through their conduct rendered the notes and mortgages unenforceable and have given us yet another way that we can defend foreclosures. Now, it's an exciting area because it's a defense that I'm not aware of many people at all who have raised. What I find exciting about it is when you bring it in front of judges, even judges who may not be as receptive to homeowner complaints or borrower defenses, look at this unique defense and say, wow, I can't believe that they are doing this, and this is occurring right in my courtroom. And the reason why this defense is so exciting is because it is an affront, it's an assault to the court system, it's an assault to the entire state of Florida. Unfortunately, I think that a court and our government have decided that borrowers are not really compelling victims anymore. They look at it as they've just not paid their bills, and so we'll ignore all the wrongdoing of the banks and institutions, and we'll punish the homeowner and grant the foreclosure. What's so compelling about this particular defense, however, is this is not particular to the homeowner. This is a way in which the banks and institutions have failed in their responsibilities to the state of Florida, to all of us, and to the court system in general. And when you frame the argument in those terms, when you make the judge understand that, Your Honor, what they've done here is they have assaulted you, the court system, the entire state of Florida by failing to fulfill their responsibilities. And therefore, I'd ask for you not to enter judgment in favor of my homeowner. And in fact, I want you to dismiss this case that's been filed about my homeowner. In the times that I have brought them in front of judges and made the argument well, the judges have been very receptive to that argument. So I would encourage each of you to examine cases, contact me if you'd like more information about this. I promise you, you will find that this is going to take root and burn like fire all across the state of Florida. If you're in foreclosure right now, please understand that the courts are moving these cases forward like they never have before. This is no longer the realm where consumers can go into court and can make defenses on their own. Just in the last couple of weeks, I've had many consumers coming into this office who've gotten a notice of trial, who've gotten a notice of summary judgment, or worse, we've gotten consumers that have said, I just found out my house was sold at foreclosure. How did that happen? I didn't get notice. Or a guy just yesterday, he got a notice of a summary judgment trial the day before. And so that morning, they were going to sell his house, or at least set it up for final judgment. The point to be made from all this is that it's a brave, new, and dangerous world out there that consumers cannot go at it alone. You need experienced foreclosure defense attorneys who practice within your community. I can't stress that enough. Practice within your community. One other point. I had a consumer just last week that came into the office. He was relying on the advice of someone over the phone and on the internet that he thought was an attorney and giving him legal advice. They were giving absolutely improper legal advice, and quite frankly, the guy almost wound up in jail because the judge was interrogating him and wanted him to appear before and provide testimony in front of the state's attorney. So another word of warning out there to everyone out there who is relying on advice from people over the internet you cannot see. Do not do so. These videos are intended only for educational purposes and don't intend that people live elsewhere will take legal advice from this. You need to rely on attorneys in your community that represent you. You can no longer rely, and you should never rely, on advice over the internet that's not particular to your case.